Hi guys, and welcome to another betting predictions video, this time for the 17th of March. Firstly, I'm not going to go over every single game now, just because it took up like a massive portion of my last video, and don't want to make it that long for you guys. It should be more straight to the point, not like a 16-minute long video. But all in all, it was okay. Kind of similar to the day before. We got a 68% win ratio. We lost on a couple of like underdog bets, so I'm not too surprised, if I'm honest. So yeah, and then also Fnatic and Na'Vi traded maps, so that wasn't helpful really. But we're going to move on to the 17th of March. So the first one being Renegades versus Winterfox. Winterfox, I don't think they've won a single map in the ESL Pro League so far. They're at the bottom of the table. Renegades are like rising in the table, and they've been performing brilliantly in the last 5 matches. So I'm actually going to start off with a high bet on Renegades for this one. So yeah, then it's Rush versus Selfless. This is a close game to call. They did just beat Premier Rejects 2-0, but there were a couple of close games. Well, no, the second game was 16-11, I think. The first one was 16-6. But I still think that Selfless are the better team in this situation, and realised that it was like the day before, I think. I can't remember which. Yeah, they had Dizzy instead of DSR, and DSR is probably their best player. So, but yeah, I think that Selfless is going to take this one and the next one against Rush, both low bets. Luminosity versus Complexity. If I hadn't looked at their previous matches against each other, I probably would have set a medium bet on Luminosity, but for some reason they've always struggled against Complexity, and I don't know what that may be. It just might be their playstyle, it might have just been the situation when they were playing them. It might not even be to do with the team being Complexity. But I'm still going to go low bets on both of them because I still think Luminosity are the stronger team. Denial versus Enigma 6. Both very strong performances recently. Denial been very impressive for me anyway, and Enigma 6 having like, I think it's Whitmer that's playing for them. They used to be like the United team, I think. But yeah, I'm only going for the low bet on them in this one, just because of how close skill-wise it is. I think the more tactic side would go towards Denial, because they have like XP3 calling their shots. So yeah, for that one I think Denial. The Foundation versus Bees Money Crew. Very low tier NA matchup here. If I'm honest, I'd never heard of the Foundation before this matchup. Bees Money Crew actually impressing me massively in their most recent games, upsetting against quite a few like tier 2 NA teams. And yeah, looking at recent performances, Bees Money Crew looking quite strong in comparison to their Foundation, but I'm still going for only a medium just because it's a single map. Splyce versus Eanix. It's, yeah, you know it's going to be a weird game when you can't even pronounce the team name. But I think Splyce will take this one against this lower tier NA team. Splyce actually beating Luminosity recently, like 2-1 in the series, which I wouldn't have thought they'd been able to do. And yeah, Eanix not really performing brilliantly, especially on overpass. So that's why I'm putting the medium bet on Splyce. Blight versus Eclipse. This is a hard game to call just because of, just like this one, very low tier NA matchup right here. But I'm putting the low on Eclipse. Eclipse actually doing quite well against some technically better teams than themselves, especially the AWPer called Ace for Eclipse. He must have like 100 sensitivity because his flick shots are rapid. Like, if you get the chance, try and watch like a couple of clips of Ace and you'll be quite impressed. So yeah, I'm going for the low on Eclipse in this one. Denial versus Premier Rejects. yeah, basically I see Denial and Selfless as similar match teams. Premier Rejects, I like could come close to this, I'd say. It might be like a 16-12, but I still think Denial will win this one, so I'm putting the low bet on them. B's Money Crew versus Mostly Harmless, kind of what I said previously to do with the foundation, kind of applies to this one. Apart from Mostly Harmless, I wouldn't see as a better team than the foundation. So in this best of one, I'm just going for a low on B's Money Crew. This is when it starts to get interesting now, for me anyway. Liquid versus Renegades. Two very good teams at the minute, and of course high, technically NA teams. Tier 1 in the region, I'd say, for both of them. So it's going to be a close matchup either way on both maps. But I still think Liquid can win both of them. If they don't, then I wouldn't be surprised if there were to be like a little shuffle in their team. Maybe Nitro out. I'm calling that. Yeah. And then this one's also interesting. CLOUD9 versus Misfits on both of them. Normally, I think I would have put medium bets on both of them for CLOUD9, but Skadoodle is out with like an injury. He's in for surgery because of internal bleeding, because of like a cyst in his intestines or something. Not nice. Hope he gets better soon. But they have their coach, who I've forgotten the name of. It begins with a Z or a V, but I can't remember. But I still think that sort of the firepower of CLOUD9 can definitely out-frag Misfits in these two, so I'm putting low bets on them. Tengri versus GameplayDNA. Both teams winning their respective... Oh no, Tengri drew against Flipside. Yeah, that's right. Tengri drew against Flipside, which is quite a good result for them. GameplayDNA beating Log or LOG. GameplayDNA also performing very well recently, especially against teams like Playing Ducks and Rush 3D, I think it was. Tengri kind of in a tiny slump, I'd say, but probably getting back into it after that Flipside game. So I'm putting the low bet on Tengri in this best of 3. G2 versus Space Soldiers. Best of 3. I have to go with G2 on this one, the French Dream Team. I want to see them doing better than they are doing currently. So this is more to do with hope than what I actually think will happen. So I'm hoping that G2 will win, so I'm putting a medium bet on them. But it would be wise maybe putting like a low bet on G2 or Space Soldiers, just for like the upset. But in a best of 3, of course, upset potential is reduced. So that's why I'm going for G2 on this one. Rogue versus Pride. Rogue performing really well against Big. I think it was 22-20. Very close game. Rogue have been definitely performing a lot better recently. Pride lost 4 in their last 5, and then drew one of the last 5. So definitely not a good run for them. They've been playing against good teams, but I think they're about to play another good team in Rogue, so that's why I'm putting the medium bet on Rogue in this one. Rush 3D and the winner of the Tengri GameplayDNA game. So this one's a bit dependent on what happens, of course, in this one. So I will update it when the match actually happens, but I'm just going off of if I am correct in these matches. I think that Tengri will beat Rush 3D. Kinda, I see GameplayDNA and Rush 3D as a similarly matched team. So if it did come down to that, I'd probably put the underdog, whoever was the underdog, I'd put the bet on them. But I see Tengri as the favoured side in this one, so I'm putting a low bet on them. This one's an interesting one actually. Outlaws versus eXtatus Passage. And it's best of 5. But Outlaws are going into this with 1 map advantage because they qualified in the upper bracket of the group, I think, whereas eXtatus Passage didn't. But I still think considering Dark Passage will have like a 2-map try at it, let's say. So of course Outlaws only need to get 2 maps, Dark Passage need to get 3, but I still think in the remaining 4 Dark Passage will get the majority. So I'm actually playing the odds a little bit and putting a medium bet on them, just because the odds will be lower for Dark Passage. So yeah, hopefully that pays off. MAXISAUCISSE or whatever versus eXtatus. The French side really impressed me against, I think it was DNDD. It was a best of 1, however, so, you know, upset potential, all that shenanigans. eXtatus performing brilliantly lately, and especially the best of 3 scenario. I think eXtatus are, well, definitely going to win this one, in my opinion. So I'm putting in medium or a high bet on eXtatus, depends on how risky you want to play it, but I wouldn't blame you for putting a high bet on them, which is also the case for this one, Rush 3D versus the winner of the MAXI eXtatus game. So if eXtatus were going to win it, this game, I think I'm going to go high on eXtatus against Rush 3D. Definitely outskill Rush 3D in this matchup. But if it was MAXI versus Rush 3D, I'd probably put a medium bet on MAXI, just because we haven't seen a lot of them. But I'd still see them as the favoured side. And then our final game, which is Denial versus Premier Rejects, which they would have played in a game beforehand, but that one's only a best of 1. But because this one's a best of 2, I'm actually putting a medium bet on Denial. Just because less risk of the underdog winning a best of 2, because of course one map is definitely going to be favoured in one team's favour and then the other map in the other. So yeah, I'm putting a medium bet on Denial. Hopefully we do even better than the days we've done before, which we've been doing pretty well actually. So yeah, thank you for watching. Quick reminder that the spreadsheet is in the description. Also, because Fnatic won against Epsilon, I don't need to do a giveaway. But what I'm going to do is, if eXtatus don't beat MAXI, so if MAXI win against eXtatus, I'm going to do a giveaway. So yeah, so basically if you lose money on that one, you might have a chance of winning money in that game from me. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you again on probably Sunday evening / Monday morning, because I'm away for the weekend. So yeah, thank you.